Greetings, my name is Blaine Lucyk, and tonight we present Telemann's Gulliver's Travels, featuring Janelle Lucyk and Rudy Sternadel. Now, I like to think of myself as an ideas man. So now we're stuck in the middle of this pandemic, locked in the house, and we're supposed to do our best to make ourselves amused, right? So how about this idea? The next time you order Skip the Dishes, attached to the top of the bag is a magazine filled with entertaining and instructive chamber music for use at home. Well, that is exactly what Telemann was doing in 1728 and 1729. Among the pieces was a set of violin duets that were inspired by a recent literary bestseller, Gulliver's Travels. Now, Telemann focuses on the children's book-like qualities, offering musical impressions of the surreal creatures that Gulliver meets. So it begins with an introduction, and it follows with 4 movements representing the 4 sections of the novel. Let's have a listen. Gulliver sets sail from his home in England, and each time he suffers some misfortune. In his first, Gulliver lies down on the grass and falls asleep, but when he wakes up, he finds that his arms and his legs and his long hair are tied to the ground with thread. In the meantime, I felt something alive moving up my leg, which, advancing gently forward over my breast, came almost up to my chin. When bending my eyes downward as much as I could, I perceived it to be a human creature, not 2 inches high, with a bow and an arrow in its hands and a quiver at its back. And in the meantime, I felt at least 40 more of the same, as I conjectured, following the first. I was in the utmost astonishment and roared so loud that they all ran back in fright, and some of them were hurt from their falls, leaping from my sides upon the ground. Hey, why don't we have a look at these little creatures, huh? He appeared to be as tall as an ordinary church steeple and took about 10 yards at every stride. I was struck with the utmost fear and astonishment and ran to hide in the corn, whence I saw him at the top of the fence stile, looking back into the next field, and heard him call with a voice as many degrees louder than a speaking trumpet. But the noise was so high in the air that at first it appeared as though it was thunder. Next, we have upon a flying island up among the clouds, impractical intellectuals who love such useless things as music and math, but are so inattentive to the immediate world that they hire servants called flappers to hit them with stuffed bags to bring them back to reality. This flapper is likewise employed diligently to attend to his master in his walks, and upon occasion to give him a soft flap in the eyes, because he is always so wrapped up in cognition that he is in manifest danger of falling down every precipice and bouncing his head against every post. The final dance sets the civilized against the barbaric. A fine French dance is played by our first violinist, Rudy, while Janelle portrays the scampering yahoos. Behold Janelle, a yahoo. Their heads and breasts were covered with a thick hair, some frizzled, some lank. They had beards like goats and a long ridge of hair down their backs. They had no tails, nor hair, nor any on their buttocks. Upon the whole, I never beheld in all my travels so disagreeable an animal, or one against which I naturally conceived so strong an antipathy. And Rudy, a houyhnhnm. Upon the whole, the behavior of these animals was so orderly and rational, so acute and judicious, that I, at last, concluded they must needs be magicians, who had thus metamorphosized themselves upon some design.